Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone. Today, I, SUHAILI and Ada will be presenting about our topic which is counselling and treatment of juvenile offenders, yang bermaksud counselling dan rawatan bersalah juvana. Okay, I will introduce about the introduction first. Treatment is an important part of the handling of juvenile offenders, refer to programs of diversion sponsored by either the juvenile court or community agencies, and it is also vital in prevention and community-based service, institutionalization, aftercare and community residential programs. This chapter will focus on the treatment techniques and programs currently in use in juvenile justice that have been found effective in addressing the particular characteristics and special needs of today's juvenile offenders. Secara keseluruhannya, bab kami ini akan membincangkan tentang teknik rawatan dan program yang digunakan oleh pesalah-pesalah juvana yang terbuktinya berkesan dalam menangani kes-kes dalam pesalah juvana pada hari ini. The next one is treatment personnel and definition of treatment. Treatment personnel attached to a juvenile court might include probation officers, family counsellors, social workers and psychologists. Treatment staff members in a juvenile correctional institution might consist of social workers, group counsellors, activity supervisors and youth leaders. Those assigned to treatment positions typically hold degrees in fields related in the study or analysis of human behavior such as psychology, social work, sociology, criminal justice or human service. Para professionals are also frequently involved in treatment programs. Individualized treatment plans are designed to provide youths with the amount of support, direction and supervision necessary to turn him or her away from socially unacceptable modes of behavior. And treatment may involve intermediate sessions such as short-term incarceration, electronic monitoring or mandated substance abuse counselling and treatment. For juvenile offenders, the strategies chosen are designed to help the young person move toward acceptable behavior and cope with his or her problems. Maksudnya macam kaki tangan rawatan ni telah ditempatkan dalam mahkamah juvana yang terdiri daripada probation officers, family counsellors, social workers and psychologists. Selain itu ada juga kaki tangan rawatan juvana yang lain yang terdiri daripada pekerja sosial, kumpulan kaunselor, penyelia aktiviti dengan pemimpin-pemimpin belia yang lain. Next. The application of management principles to the implementation of treatment programs. The children who appear before the juvenile court represent the whole spectrum of the juvenile population with regard to age, gender and racial and ethnic backgrounds. Some have committed extremely serious acts, others have been involved in minor offences, some are negative, antisocial and bitter in their attitudes, others are scared, despondent and remorseful, some have strong family support to fall back on but many do not. On the assumption that most organizations can apply common management principles to improve their effectiveness, juvenile justice agency administrators usually have a coordinated plan under which the specific goals for each operation are established. It is not the unique character of the programs developed that accounts for the success any particular court experienced in its attempts at delinquency control and the rehabilitation of offenders, but rather the skillful utilization and integration of the many resources within the courts and the community. The next one, management of treatment programs. Juvenile treatment personnel are required to participate in lengthy, seemingly endless series of client-centered sessions that have long ago lost their meaning. The next one, the sessions become reviews of probation requirements, rep sessions, forums where the clients can vent feelings positive or negative, about the treatment personnel or merely booster shots in the sense that at each meeting the worker gives the client some positive feedback or encouragement to make it through. Expected outcomes such as better eco-chain, improved interpersonal relations, acceptance of self or learning self-discipline are vague and different to measure. The next one is interviewing the initial contact. The purpose of the initial contact is to obtain information about a juvenile offender that will be used to determine the course of action to be taken by the agent of the juvenile justice system. The objectives of the initial interview are as follows. The first one is to establish a good working relationship with client. Second, to obtain information about the client's background. Third, to provide information about what to expect during the interview. Fourth, to identify the general nature of the client's problems. Fifth, to obtain a detailed history of the facts leading up to the present problem and any factors that may have contributed to the problem the client is facing. And then lastly, to ask follow-up questions on areas in which the information provided is not complete or fully understood when necessary. The next one is types of interviewing. There are three types. The first one is cognitive interview. The focus of cognitive interviewing is to have the respondent recall the incident or event and the thoughts and feelings about the event, and perhaps to bring a different perspective on the matter. Second, the motivational interview. The motivational interview is more focused on using methods and questions during the interview that will stimulate the person being interviewed to become motivated to change those behaviors that have created problems. And then lastly is the counseling interview. The counseling interview is the most common type of interview used in the counseling treatment of delinquent youth. It consists of an information gathering process and the application of treatment techniques. Next, the decision to use individual or group treatment. The decision on the type of treatment to follow is based on many factors, including the type and seriousness of the youngster's most recent offense, the success of previous attempts at individual or group treatment. If the juvenile is a repeat offender, the range of group treatment programs available at this particular court, and the possibilities for placement in a specific program, and most important, whether individual or group treatment seems to offer the best hope of securing help for the child. The second one, a juvenile's initial entrance into the juvenile justice system takes place in a one-to-one situation with an intake officer or judge talking with or questioning the child. Group treatment may enter the picture if it is decided that crisis intervention or counseling on the entire family over a period of weeks offer the best solution. And the last one for my part is the role of treatment personnel. First, they may serve as listeners, observers, information disseminators, service brokers, givers of emotional support, supervisors, behavior regulators, and imposers of sessions. Second, the roles they assume and the type of direction they give are depending upon the needs of the juvenile as ascertained by the treatment personnel. Third, the counseling given may range on a continuum from non-directive to highly directive. Non-directive counseling is characterized by listening, giving information, and offering advice without placing pressure on the person being counseled to choose a certain course of action. Vocational counseling is frequently of this type. and directive counselling. In contrast, involves activity ranging from strongly word advice to comments and demands. In directive counselling, the counselor takes charge of the pace and the direction of the interview and even the content of the interaction. And the last one is highly directive counselling might occur when a youth who has violated rules or conditions or of probation is told that unless he or she behaves in a certain way or conforms to certain ultimatums, the probation will be revoked. That's all.
Okay, next is specific treatment techniques. This is the specific treatment techniques that we will go through. Next. Okay, first one is psychotherapy. Friend and his followers in psychoanalysis theories that the roots of deviant behavior lie within the individual's personality. This perspective suggests that understanding and addressing psychological factors are essential in dealing with misbehavior. The term psychotherapy is used to describe a range of treatment techniques derived from psychoanalysis assumptions. The overarching goals of psychotherapy, including reality therapy, is to address emotional or personal problems believed to be the cause of misbehavior. Next is reality therapy. Reality therapy emerged as an alternative to service disillusionment with psychotherapy as a general treatment approach. It aims to address this disruptive behavior by focusing on feelings of being unloved and worthless. The core idea is reality therapy is that disruptive behavior is rooted in the person feeling unloved and worthless. The therapy defines responsibility as fulfilling one's needs without depriving others of theirs. Okay. Next is brief therapy. Brief therapy is described as a systematic, focused process that relies on assessment, client engagement, and rapid implementation of change strategies. The goal is to address issues effectively with limited time frame. Brief therapy techniques can be applied in correctional counseling for both juvenile and adult offenders. It encompasses various therapeutic approaches, including cognitive behavioral therapy. Brief strategy interactional therapies with humanity and incidental therapies with psychodynamic therapies, short-term family therapies, and time-limit group therapies. Next is crisis intervention. Okay, Robert defines a personal crisis as an acute disclosure of psychological homeostasis where usual coping mechanism fail, leading to discrete and functional impairment. A crisis can result from various reasons, such as traumatic stressful situation, engagement in hazardous event, or involvement in a situation where the person feels a lack of control or skill to determine the outcome. Next is extendedness of training. Some young individuals delinquent activities because they are facing the easily led by their peers. The fear of losing friendship and social approval drives them to go along with illegal acts even when they know it is wrong. Children may become non-assertive and easily lead to conditioning at home or in school. Punishment, imprisonment, and risk for conforming to authority figures can contribute to a child's non-assertive behavior. is on reward and punishments for behavior. It involves reinforcing desirable behaviors and reducing undesirable ones. The research highlight difference between behavior modification, principle and common sense. While common sense may include contradictory advice, behavior modification organizes and codifies common sense, providing clear guidelines on when and how to apply specific aspects. Next, immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is defined as including all aspects for health environment in the treatment process. This includes not only the physical environment but also the social, emotional, and relational aspect. Immunotherapy is inherently oriented, focusing on the individual's interaction within a community and integrational setting. The group setting allows to comprehensive approach to behavioral change. Group work. The decision of each individual or group is crucial and often made by the counselor. In cases like work with guests or family units, where the group already exists, the counselor must adapt method to fit the group structure. Group work is described as a therapeutic process in which the desired outcome are achieved through the interaction of group members and the counselor. The group itself serves as both the context to the therapy and the means by which treatment is delivered. Next is the group interaction and positive peer culture. In the group interaction, group members act as agents of change for themselves and each other. The central idea is that the group becomes cohesive, providing mutual support as members work towards treatment goals, particularly the goals of successful integrating into society. When a member seeks release, the group has a meeting to evaluate the rules, self-concept, efforts, and success in helping others. A group vote determines the decision on release. If the vote favor release, the recommendation is forward to staff team or final action. Family counseling. Family therapy presents a departure from the traditional focus on individual treatment. Instead of isolating the misbehaving children, family therapy targets the entire family unit. The object is not only changing individual perception or behavior, but restoring the family and addressing dysfunctional behavior sequencing repeated. The primary focus on family therapy is the situation of the therapeutic change is aimed at altering the dynamic and structure of family to create a healthier environment, recognizing that a significant portion of delinquent behavior originates of family dysfunction. Next is injury management. Injury management treatment is in predictive behavior theories highlight that it is possible to anger in reducing situations are then shaped by socialization. The approach emphasizes that individuals can develop new adaptive response patterns through resocialization. The treatment targets the underlying cognitive processing associated with anger and aggression. Participants are educated about the nature of anger, providing insight into the stimuli that lead to anger and the psychological changes associated with it. This knowledge forms the foundation for developing strategies to manage and control anger effectively. effectively. Anger management treatment typically take place in group settings. Session often comments with a natural addressing the nature of anger, identifying stimuli that trigger anger as many the biological and physiological change leading to anger and exploring the association between anger and aggression. The group develops to share experience and learning context. This is treatment techniques from specific type of offenders. First is art therapy, recognizing the communication barrier. Professional working with these young that have embraced aggression art therapy. This form is therapy acknowledge that some individuals, especially those with traumatic experience, may find it difficult to verbalize their emotional wishes or fears. Instead, they can use art as medium or expression. This is treatment program for sex offender. Juvenile sex offender often exhibit behaviors that might be immediately considered with the spectrum of homosexual development for adolescents. However, due to their involvement in other development activities and its approach to treatment in tropical environment, there's a program to substance abusers. The use of alcohol and drug among adolescents is with significant implication for delinquent behavior. Self-report studies highlight the prevalence of substance abuse among high school seniors, indicating a need for intervention and treatment. And drug court, the establishment is juvenile drug court and family drug court. Reflects acknowledgement among juvenile justice and social service administrator and that substance abuse and deviant behavior as interconnect the lives of juvenile offenders. Next is treatment effectiveness. Why administrators of juvenile delinquency treatment programs often highlight success stories and provide statistics regarding evaluation and interventions. Include the duration of evaluation, absence of control group, and insufficient measurement of success and failure. Skepticism surrounds claim of program success with focusing on duration and the lack of comparable control groups. Additionally, challenges include identifying factors contributing to positive outcome and the need for comprehensive success or failure measurement. In response, new instruments have been developed to assess juvenile risk of recidivism and treatment needs. Standardized assessment and classification tools are widely used by juvenile justice agencies. These tools inform decision on disposition, probation, community placement, and institution placement, taking into account and level of the supervision. List out 3 specific treatment techniques. List out 3 specific treatment techniques. Open
3 types of interviewing and elaboration. There is 3 types of interviewing. First is cognitive interview, that responder recall the incident event. Then motivational interview, counseling. This method using method question and some method during the interview. Next is counseling interview, that consists information gathering process and the application of treatment technique.
I have a question about psychotherapy, relative therapy, brief therapy. So, what do you think? If we as a counselor, can we do psychotherapy for our students?
No.
Are we qualified to do psychotherapy for our students to treat their mental disorder, or should we instead point them to therapists? That's all.
Pada pandangan saya rasa kalau kita kurang sesuai lah, sebab kita lebih kepada counselling daripada psikoterapi. Jadi kalau seseorang tu ada masalah yang telah dinyatakan tadi tu, lebih baik pergi kepada yang lebih pakar lagi. Itu sahaja jawapan saya. Thank you. And the last question for me, what is the purpose of the initial contact?
The purpose of the initial contact is to obtain information about juvenile offenders that will be used to determine the course of action to be taken by the agent of the juvenile justice system.